Hello, Zoom world. It's Mercedes Erhahon here, your chair of luxury. Should I be looking somewhere? Okay. Thank you all for joining today. So let's start off with if you guys want to discuss what you feel that you want to learn the most in regards to luxury.
Working my mic situation out. Prior to that, can you go into, we'll talk about the priorities and like the conversations you've had with some of our other top agents around the priorities around luxury, and I'll be sharing them here in a second. Yet, just having that awareness, giving that background, I think will help a little bit.
Yes, for sure. So some of us have already, been meeting in regards to luxury. And one of the things is to really build a name for our Chino Hills, market center. We welcome. We have some in-persons too. I love it. We want to build a name for, the Chino Hills Market Center in regards to luxury. That is one thing that we've been seeing around town. Unfortunately, we're seeing our counterparts, Brea and Yorba Linda, hosting their luxury signs in our area, and I think that's something that we can bring to our market center with the knowledge. And one of the top things is bringing that white glove service to your clientele. And you say, what does that mean? So you want to think about having a business that mimics the Ritz-Carlton or Nordstrom's. I mean, when you think of high end, you think of luxury, those are brands that across the board, you've never heard anybody complain that they had a bad experience at Nordstrom or, the Ritz-Carlton, as well as the education portion of it too. I know Sarah Dykman's in here too, and we discussed at one of our other meetings is the thought process of having to have a certain image or a certain knowledge about certain things. I think it's both sides of that. One is yes, being able to service that clientele, know what they expect. Also, we want to have the education in just even regards to properties, knowing the type of flooring that they use, knowing the materials that are within that property. That's huge, because I'll tell a little quick story. Is I had a client I was looking at about a $1.5 million house, and she walks in and she's like, Mercedes, what do you think of the illustrious blah 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 material? And I was like, yeah, it's great. And at that moment, a light bulb went off. And I said, you know what? Yes, I have the network to meet these type of clienteles, but I also wanted to be educated on the knowledge behind those things. A client shouldn't know more than
Bless you.
me when I walk into a property. Bless you. When I, walk into a property as well. And so bringing in, like, Brady Sandoval is one of KW's top in the luxury division, making sure that we're connected in that realm, because KW does offer a lot of luxury, educational standpoints too. So making sure that we're getting that knowledge while we're out here just building our business too. Did I miss a point, Brian?
Yeah. So we're and I'm pulling that up right now, sharing the screen for our focus around uh, luxury. Our
So
three
education is
priorities.
one.
Yeah.
Brand awareness is definitely another one that we want to bring to the market center too. And another thing that we talked about is co-marketing with the office. Being willing to invest in yourself is important too, to have the office stand behind you. They can throw out as much money as they want to support us, and what are we doing with it? So if we as agents can go out there and show them that we really want this, we want to build this brand, we want to build this, and have a collective marketing piece, I think will be also phenomenal. So that's something else that we're working on too, whether it's, video shooting, photography. If we'll get a better rate on our return if we do it collectively versus one of us just trying to do it on our own. And that was
Yeah.
another part. Yeah. So joint marketing, uh, education, and then community, making sure that we are commingling with people within our areas too. And not only just going to real estate events, I think is one thing that we need to that's important. going to other events, chamber events, you'll have all types of people going to stuff that are hosted by physicians and nurses and lawyers where you're the only realtor there and you end up being that go-to for that network of people, is something else that we discussed as well.
So, as we kind of boil it back, so we've got those 3 points, and obviously our main goal is to build the luxury market share in our area.
So mind share equals
Uh,
market share.
And so, our 3 points you mentioned are, education, um, marketing, and then the community networking. And so, the goal here of our meeting today is for us to come together and better understand what would have to happen in order for all of us to increase our luxury market share. What type of conversations or what trainings and educations, events are we putting together on your behalf as an office to foster an environment for higher level luxury production is the overall
Exactly.
goal. And so we've got education, we've got marketing, and then we've got community networking. And you'll see skill building is underneath one. I don't really pay attention too much to that. Don't pay attention too much to recruiting. These are just general notes that we've got here. And yet we want to hear from you what you would think you would have to need or you would need in order for you to be in the best position to win in the luxury front. So starting with education, and then we're going to go through these 3 points or 3 areas. What around education would you feel like Mercedes shared a story earlier about being aware of certain, say,
Aesthetics of a property.
oh yeah, aesthetics of a property. Um, what do we feel we would need to know or focus on that would increase your confidence when going out to show property to those individuals? Thoughts?
Anybody have thoughts?
This is
This
when
is not the Mercedes show. So
we can
please.
unmute.
Thanks.
You unmute.
I clean up well.
You gotta feel free to
There was
unmute.
one that I learned from Brady Sandoval was the Ritz
Sandoff.
Carlton Sandoff. Sorry, thank you for that. Is the Ritz Carlton School? It's they really have a Ritz Carlton School. I believe it's about $2,000, so it is an investment. But you're going through a training course to be able to implement that within your business as well from one of the top brands, nationwide. So that was one. Also, I just think having top speakers in different aspects, education period, no matter what field of real estate that you're in, is important. And so if we can bring those higher level, mega agents, people that are in that luxury world, I think would be important too, so they can also share their tidbits on what they're doing and how they built that brand as well.
Let's get specific. Again, we can just talk, right? We got some great minds in here, and yet I want everyone to chip in on this. What do you think is stopping you around what you may not be aware of, or stopping you from doing more in the luxury space that if you knew would help make all the difference in your luxury market share, production, etc. So
Personally, I would say that eliminating your limiting belief and mindset that you cannot service those people. You have to drive a Ferrari or you have to look a certain way in order to attract those people. That it would be the number one thing that I would say. Throw that out the window. I have clients who are in that luxury space that will show up in jeans and a t-shirt and drive, a lifted truck, and just making sure that you're connecting with the right people so that you can enter into that space. So that would
so
be one.
so what else? Again, I want to be very clear about this. We didn't need to meet today.
Mhm.
I'm being this is for folks on Zoom. The thing about Zoom is we can very easily hide behind Zoom, and I want to be very clear. We don't have to meet. We could just initiate, and yet the issue with that is we could very easily miss the target. So we want to know what's hot, what's important to you, so that way we can hit the and address the areas of concern to increase everybody's likelihood. So this is about you giving us an opportunity to, as a forum, share our thoughts or ideas around luxury. So again, this is not just about Mercedes. This is not just about Sarah
Sarah has
or
something to say.
anyone. This is about you unmuting and sharing your unfiltered uh, questions around what we could do to better impact your luxury production. So Sarah, you've got the hot mic. Arla, you unmuted. We're going to come to you then after that, and then anyone else who wants to chip in on this conversation.
I think as an office, it'd be cool to go on field trips and go back to old school caravanning where we go together, because there is an intimidation factor on your own when you're stepping into a new marketplace and space. But even we can kill a couple birds with one stone and take a high-end contractor with us who can point out the different things throughout the property and teach us some different aspects while we're all together. But then while we're out in the marketplace in these higher end homes, we could be getting content information for our own marketing pieces to show exposure that we're into this space without actually having the sales to back it up. So
Absolutely.
hold our hand.
One of our that was actually one of our talking points. So thank you for that reminder, Sarah. Is old school caravanning, because I was actually looking recently into just now we're starting to see more open houses happening. So it's like, why not as an office? Can we all, like you said, show up and have that co-branding with each other? If it's a picture, if it's a selfie, it's a whatever that looks like collectively, doing that. So Chino, let's keep it. I want to try to keep it as local as possible, hyper local, and build from there. So Chino Hills, if everyone is open to that, I will definitely keep an eye out for, those open houses. And as I'm doing that, I've been building relationships with agents in the area. So if it's just a private showing for our office, definitely I can make sure that we set that up as well. So thank you for that, Sarah.
Yeah, that's important. And I want to go into what you said about whether it be having a luxury contractor there to point out those materials, those high-end finishes, and what goes into that, so that way we have a better appreciation for when we do walk in, the amount of effort that it took to take or finish their property or a property in a particular way. So being very specific about the type of finish, right? What type of countertop is that? What type of faucet style is that? Those things, the details. Arla.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I'm well. How you doing?
Hi, Arla.
Hi, I'm doing better. I actually ended up getting long COVID right after Bold.
Well, you sound well.
Yeah, well, oh my God, it's dragging along, but I'm finally starting to perk back up, thank goodness.
Good. So what do you have for us? Luxury, and what are you thinking?
All right, let's see. I did go to a webinar out here, and it had a who's who in luxury real estate. And I'm actually getting ready to put the house out here in Vegas. It's going on the market in about 2 weeks. And I'm getting ready to move back out to California. And yeah, I want to invest in my luxury knowledge because I've always been drawn towards that. I'm sorry, having a little bit of a brain fog, towards that area of real estate. And I get really, really excited about it. So they have a who's who of luxury real estate, and it lists all the luxury agents for you and they have luxury samples and things you can go through and talk about with your clients and all that.
Is this through KW, through a private network?
This was through Keller Williams. Yeah, Keller Williams Luxury Real Estate in Las Vegas.
So are you thinking like basically having our own workshop here? Or
I think that would be great, because I've done, like everybody told me, stay away from the luxury, it's too hard, but I always felt drawn towards it. So like 80% of my open houses were luxury. I kind of wish I wouldn't have focused on it that much, because then I had one thing after another happen. But anyways, back to starting over. Yeah, I think that would be great. I'm open to all sorts of real estate, luxury or not. But
us as an office collectively creating our own who's of who and then having a meet and greet.
oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be
Is
great.
that the thought?
I
No,
think
I'm asking.
I think it would be more SoCal based, right? So opening it up to Orange County, LA County, Inland
sure.
Empire, and then grouping or the who's who of luxury real estate, having a
In
joint
this hub.
type of event.
Yes, yes,
Love
because I've
that.
never seen anything out in California like that.
So are
Um,
we thinking mastermind? Is this mixer? What are your thoughts around that, Harla?
Yeah, a mixer
both.
or maybe
It-
even.
So we're masterminding and then we're having
Mixer.
a sip.
Well,
Sip and see a property.
so
Maybe a
here-
class.
Here's the benefit. You mentioned Brady Sandahl earlier. He's luxury
He's in Palm Springs.
chair
Yeah,
out in
for
Palm
KW.
Springs, or luxury division leader, and there's no reason why we couldn't have him. And when we did the $1 billion panel last year, we had him speak. Chessie Pagano, she's big in luxury, and a couple other people talk luxury, and there's no reason why we couldn't get our regions together to facilitate a regional event. If we wait for that to happen, it won't happen, right? We would have to put it together ourselves and take the lead on that. So I'm 100% at peace. Yeah, let's get together and let's leverage our coastal. Who doesn't want to be near the beach?
I'm also gonna take a luxury class. I'm gonna spend that
Exactly.
$2,000 after I do this sale and learn more about it.
Coming to you. on the
Maybe
next
I
one.
could help bring some information to the office also.
Yeah, absolutely, and put our office on the map when we organize that. So
Yeah.
consider that. I love that. So I put that under community networking. So luxury agent events. So thank you for that.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Pearl had a really good one. Yeah. Oh.
And then just in case you couldn't hear that, Sarah mentioned having social media around luxury, specifically for our office. So a KW Vision, luxury Insta, maybe even just a Facebook page where we can, post our luxury properties specifically so that it's tied into Chino Hills. Love it.
Yeah, so good. I got that. Pearl had a pretty a good educational perspective of the stats around luxury in Chino and Chino Hills, and really understanding what those statistics are. That was important. I did a search of expired and canceled listings over the last 12 months in, I believe it was just Inland Empire, and the numbers were pretty interesting. No, it was like maybe last 24 months. Anyway, 4,800 canceled expired luxury listings over the last 24 months
Wow.
Even
in this crazy hot market. 4,000, and then in the last 12 months, I want to say it was like 1,800 or something like that. So a lot of luxury properties are expiring, and that's an opportunity right there, alone.
Speaking of that, one thing that I want us as agents and this office to stand apart is coming with quality. Do you know how many luxury listings?
Say it again.
Coming with quality. How many luxury listings that I see
I know
with
what you're gonna say.
cell phone pictures?
Oh yeah, it's fascinating.
Today I looked at a $2.1 million listing, toilet seat up, cell phone. We cannot, as an office, just no. we have to bring it. There's no more I need to go into it with that. That tells you our competition.
That's exactly right. That tells you our competition, and it's kind of embarrassing when it is
It's very-
when you see that. And then, by the way, you go through those expired and canceled listings, a lot of them
Over
are
cell phone pictures.
terrible
Just
cell phone pictures, and part of me gets upset. It's like, I'm dead.
no, but then you kick yourself. You're like, what am I not doing as to where I'm not in that arena being the face,
It's a connection. It's a connection that we didn't have, that somebody let their so-and-so friend or listed it themselves and didn't get what they thought they were going to get for it or whatnot. Sandy, did you want to share something? I saw that mute button hop off, and then I wanted to get to, I pointed at Hector, however, This was
Gary had
about,
something to
there was a question around Gary,
Gary's good.
the concept around luxury and commercial. So Sandy, did you want to share anything? No, maybe it was false alarm.
Hey, Brian, sorry about that. I think my phone is cutting in and out.
Okay.
So that's probably why it looks like that.
Okay.
I definitely think that marketing materials have to be top notch, kind of piggybacking on what
Oh, muted. You're back. Did we lose you?
I think I just cut out again. Real quick to piggyback on what Mercedes was saying, though, your marketing, it needs to be the highest quality print, packaged in the highest quality of way, because a lot of them, it is about service. If you give them Nordstrom service, that's what they want. And there's not a lot of agents out there that offer that because people are cutting corners all the time.
I agree.
Well, and
Sarah brought up a point too. Some agents starting out may not have the capital. And so that's where we're discussing, joint marketing ventures so that each one teach one, each one help each other. There's enough to go around for everyone. So just being able to grow together, I think it'd be very important.
yeah, so I'm writing that
Good
down.
point.
What's the high quality material that stands out? And that's ever changing, right? So it's always being in staying up to date with what are the good resources and marketing materials that stands out against the competition. We talked about the capital it takes to market luxury, and that went into my mind skill set. The challenge around that is agents are very quick. There's a stat NAR said 44% of agents brought up commission before the seller, right? And so, commission, right, just blah, right? Oh, by the way, you're probably thinking about commission. Oh no, I wasn't thinking about commission, right? In the seller's mind. And so,
no.
and now that you ask, and we're so quick to cut that we don't have anything left to market with, no budget, and so I added in skill set to be able to communicate on the luxury end about what we can do to address that and work on taking luxury listings, as well as coming up with a value proposition that would help us meet that need.
That's a good point. I actually had a client who sold a luxury property in Seattle, moving to California, told me straight up, Mercedes, I want to see how Cali is prior to buying. So I'm going to do a rental. I know that isn't something that you do. However, I would like your assistance because the next step would be purchasing. And so I said, upon me doing this, I do ask for an agreement in place that when you do buy, I'm the agent that you go to. I'm bringing this to say that I didn't talk about commission or compensation or anything. And as I found the rental for him, he asked me, what is your compensation, for rental? I will like to match or double whatever, they're bringing for your services. So like Brian said, we're already, if you come in with already wanting to cut just to get the deal done, how can you negotiate on their behalf in that realm if you can't even negotiate for yourself? And so just being mindful of that too.
True. Very true. Good stuff. So Gary, our commercial liaison. You see what I did there?
Yes, Gary wants to speak to how we can collectively build together with luxury and commercial, because I believe they do go hand in hand as well.
It started with a question that Ernesto had around, does luxury include commercial? So do you want to talk to that, Gary? And we can...
Technically, it would not double over. I mean, there isn't a luxury division of commercial. There's a lot of different segmentation inside commercial, but where the overlap happens is people that are living in $3 to $5 million houses probably own a business somewhere. They own commercial industrial buildings somewhere, and trying to synchronize the relationships with those people and then trade those leads back and forth is probably where we want to go with this and work together. And then some of the marketing ideas, I'm grabbing those, excuse me, because I think we can use those on the commercial side also. But technically, to go back to the original question, a 1 to 4, meaning a fourplex apartment building, is technically a residential. It's an investment property and can qualify for that, but it's technically not a commercial. 5 and above takes it into commercial property, and anything that's used for commercial purposes. And under that banner, you'd have office, retail, industrial, and land, and multifamily 5 and above. And then in our division, we've added business opportunity, mergers and acquisitions as another element of what we're going after, which we'll be
Nice.
talking about. So
Very cool. Yeah, the commercial, that's what, 230 later, right? Shameless plug.
we'll
Okay.
be back.
We'll be back. I think we did fairly well on the educational front, and again, you're probably taking notes on your end too. So again, for those of you we haven't communicated yet, is that we're working to build a training calendar of everything that you'd want to know around this front and on the luxury end. And as you see at the bottom there, it was set in that based off of the luxury committee meetings and conversations that, obviously for those who want to continue to participate, there will be a standing meeting every single month for the implementation or the direction that we're going in, to be able to participate in these conversations. So that way we're holding ourselves accountable to implement this. So with that being said, just look out for trainings in the calendar specifically around luxury, and that's what we're building out here. So going into marketing, we've talked a little bit about it. What's the high? So marketing and luxury. So we talked about joint marketing, joint ventures with the office. Anything around marketing that we could discuss or talk about or work on that would help us be in the best position to win to impact our luxury market.
So to T on that, the definition of luxury is a state of great comfort and extravagant living. So making sure that we tie our marketing into that is going to be pivotal. If you think about it, I believe across the nation, luxury is something different to everyone.
Yeah, so I think to your point, it's going to be whatever is considered the state of which living, whatever, luxurious state of
Yes.
mind. And how do you attain that state of mind based off of where you live? And
State of great comfort. and
Great comfort.
extravagant living.
So what is great comfort and extravagant in your area based on its price point compared to the
Correct.
majority of the property available? So for us in IE, in the Empire, Keller Williams has determined, so it's funny when, for those of you who
I
were able,
actually have those numbers.
so yeah, so Stephen Thomas said that luxury starts at 800, 850 in the Empire. Keller Williams, we raised it a little bit. And so the number I believe is 1 million. So any property that we list in or sell within within Inland Empire, Keller Williams recognizes it as 1 million or over.
I want to share a couple stats super quick.
Yeah,
I
please.
have the numbers actually of what KW has set for standards in our
In
counties.
the different counties.
Yeah. So Fresno, 700,000, Kern County, 700,000, Los Angeles is 1.8 million, Orange County is 1.4 million, Riverside County, San Bernardino County is 1 million. We have San Diego at 1.36, and we have San Luis Obispo at 1.2. Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, and let me see, Santa Clara, I don't know if anybody goes that far, but that's 2.5. Santa Cruz 1.6 and Ventura is 1.22. And that is the standard across for Keller Williams.
So here's the overall thought. Because Keller Williams has, and you can speak to this, the earn in luxury platform. And the way that you get into the earn in luxury platform, and which is one of the reasons why we wanted to start to get into this educational conversation about this, is because the earn in luxury platform, it's got to be a minimum of 24 months with
four deals
deals
at those price points in those counties in order to earn in. So the luxury division used to be a pay to play, as we call it. meaning you paid to be considered a luxury agent with KW. They went away with that, and now it's an earn-in. And so based on those stats that I've given you, if you sell a property that meets that threshold within a 24-month period, you are now an earned-in.
Four, right?
I'm sorry,
properties.
four. You are now an earned-in member of KW Luxury, and you get the mastermind calls once a month with GK on there.
Gary Keller.
You Gary Keller. You get the exclusive marketing, as well as they have social media exclusive posts for you certain days and times. And so really being able to build your brand through KW is why they wanted you to be able to earn in, because they are putting the marketing dollars behind you.
Also networking events and the
Specific and-
referral
yes.
opportunities and all of that.
So there's a private Facebook group that I'm in. And so for luxury referrals, they're going there first, to be able to refer out. So things like that, that's very important. And we continue to speak towards who is your network, who are the people you're hanging out with and learning and growing from.
Yeah. So to go to that extent, there's a lot of folks wouldn't qualify today in our market center. So in an effort to get more people to that threshold to meet those opportunities, we're working to come together and set our own training regimen, if you will, to help push more of us to those standards, and those folks can participate at those levels. And so what we've talked about is setting up this curriculum, if you will, of around education, marketing, and community networking, so that way we can help more people get into that realm for KWRI, Keller Williams International or corporate, to name it. And so now in regards to our office, when we talked about joint marketing, whether it be, a joint marketing photo shoot, video, social media, newspaper ads, getting postcards, whatever, getting ourselves out there, whatever we decide, the minimum threshold to be on or considered in that would be 5 million in closed sales volume, for the last 12 months, right? Is what the last conversations were. Now, whether we decide to change that, that's a conversation and or a vote for say the initial folks who helped set this up, and then just awareness of that. So
for clarity, anyone can be a part of these masterminds for luxury. We're speaking to that threshold is one, to just get us excited and wanting to grow and build our, oh my God, why am I having a brain fart?
luxury IQ.
Yes, our luxury IQ. Thank you, Brian. And get the office round up and excited to want to sell more and to earn into that 5 million threshold for the joint marketing. So keep in mind, masterminds, you're very welcome. We take all input, and we want you to grow as agents. So that's why we have that minimum threshold in order to be a part of the joint marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Do we have the question is, do we have or can we get, back to Sarah's statistics, discussion, can we get numbers that we can use as bragging rights or talking points for presentations? Yeah, so if I'm in a presentation and they go, yeah, give me something to talk about that it gives me a little bit of bragging rights, and that could be how many in the Inland Empire has KW done, how many in the region, how many national, something that puts me into the discussion or into the game.
Yeah.
That's why I said fake it till you make it. I mean, if we said just our office, probably not going to have a lot to brag about just yet. So we have to, we build on other people's success and use that to drive.
Yeah,
Make sense?
I love that. That's actually a really good idea, because obviously we can leverage KW, and a lot of people don't know that Keller Williams is actually leading a lot of the top 10 metro areas for luxury,
So
and
we
yet
do have those stats through KW. Yes. So Gary, if you didn't hear that, was saying that we need to use those KW numbers, massage that and lean on that until we as an office grow to have our own numbers in the luxury realm, which is great. Great point.
Agreed. Yeah, we'll work on that. Somebody asked about getting those numbers in the chat, so I'm gonna put that the luxury numbers
Okay. You
in
know
the
that.
chat here. Yep, working on
Okay.
that now. Awesome. Any other thoughts around marketing? That's a great one. I'm getting the
Oh, I
luxury
love that.
stats for presentations.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have, it's attainable.
Anything
I do
else
have a
in marketing?
Is there any law that keeps us from going into gated communities, like following in behind another car?
Yeah.
I don't believe there's a law, but Arla, I will tell you, when I first started in real estate, my dream was luxury. I'm just gonna go luxury. And I would drive to these gated communities and I would show my real estate card. And I was like, I have an exclusive client that I am previewing for. Do you mind? And just like, and I'm not talking about my business card, like my actual license card. Like this is serious.
Right.
I walk around with this because I'm real deal. I don't know if things have changed. However, I would just say attempt it. Hector.
I went with the handwritten letter once, and
Oh, really?
the guy at the little toll where you talk to people before they lift up the gate, he actually called the person, and I said that I had a letter for him, and they actually I left it with the guy at the place, and he said that he would deliver it to the people. So I guess there's all different ways. I've done
It's a hit
everything.
or miss. And also just having a real conversation with the agent. Hey, I'm, building my luxury portfolio. Do you mind if I tour the property? I mean, you don't know until you try.
Right,
I mean,
right. Yeah.
I just uploaded the numbers there for the luxury
I'm gonna feed you.
the luxury stats. So you should have that now. It was a little screenshot, so you should have that. So let us know if you don't, or if it doesn't work. Otherwise, what else? What else marketing wise are we missing? And I think we already addressed it though in regards to the HOA and the going into those gated communities, door knocking and whatnot. Obviously, they'll be pretty quick to kick you out on that. And yet.
Oh, no. Well, don't do what Gary just shared.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
He said that he attempted to follow behind a car going into a luxury neighborhood and the gate crashed on his car. So
Oh my gosh.
Paint still scuffed.
just be mindful of that. I would say the best way is to attend an open house. That way the gate is open. They know that you're coming, and that way you can meet and greet with different people. It's not just going to be specifically agents. You're going to meet neighbors at those open houses because they're curious. They want to know what their neighbor's house looks like and possibly want to sell and buy as well. So Arla, that would be my suggestion. Just going on the MLS, putting in a price point and seeing what open houses are coming up. And that speaks to our caravan that we were discussing as well. Sarah asked, does the office get notifications of broker opening, meaning
Yeah, so we probably do. It's just something that we haven't in COVID really addressed yet. Now that we're coming out of it, I think that that's something that is just a no-brainer for us to implement.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Either that, so the local broker opens are happening
Yeah, where they're
over.
having just the top, their agents only
Yeah.
first, which is the broker open, and then yes.
Specifically, though, the ones that we would probably want to see would be Chino Hills, right? To keep it very specific. Chino Hills, because that has the price point that we're talking about. And so we can definitely look at that. So I love that. So I wrote down, the education, luxury caravans, perfect. What else?
Arla, I trust that answered your question.
Any other marketing,
Thank you.
luxury marketing? Hector.
I don't know if it's too simplistic, but just referrals. I mean, I've had people that I've sold them very modest homes. They don't have like a, they're not CEOs or nothing, but they've referred me to their bosses and to people that really are like, wow, I was like, I never expected, such a great referral from
Mm.
this person. So you never judge a book by their cover. You just treat everyone the same.
Yeah. So so Gary, you may have even shared it, is reminding ourselves, and that, Hector, you made me think of it, is that uh, are we thinking only of residential real estate, the average price point, or are we thinking, hey, by the way, any commercial needs you might have, or how about, your manager or your owner, do they have any commercial needs? And you're working our way into those channels for referrals. And who knows? No. However, my boss was thinking of moving. So could we, just by asking one more question before we get off the phone, and use that to open a door to another relationship that we may not have been able to procure? That's one. All right. So marketing, I feel like marketing is a little bit bare, yet I'm going to write in here. We talked about joint venture marketing, and we talked a little bit about that. Opportunities.
Anyone in Zoom land have any ideas?
And then just to clarify, joint venture marketing opportunities just being able to market together, have our dollars go further, as we're coming up with strategies that we would see fit to invest in. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Unless I'm missing anything else. And that obviously that can include whether it be newspaper, postcard,
There's a
events.
local magazine out here too, that reached out to me.
Magazines, yeah.
That would be awesome to joint venture on something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that gets into community networking, right? And so if we're going to talk about community network, so what ideas or thoughts do we have around community networking that we could focus on that would help us increase our luxury market share? Where are the people that we choose to partner with or be in business with? Where are they hanging out? What kind of events are they going to? What are they looking to accomplish that we could set the table for to help them hit those goals?
So one of my first thought is charity events, for sure. Making sure that you're attending things where people are giving back. Also, another big one, giving and giving back. Sarah said giving, yeah, giving and giving back. Another one, golf tournaments are huge. In the early part of my career, I hosted, I had a table set at, I don't know much about golf, but what's like a hole? It's a hole.
Sponsored a hole.
Sponsored a
You
hole.
sponsored a hole.
Sponsored a hole for golf. Got it. And I met so many people, doctors, lawyers, judges. I didn't know what to do with it back then. However, it was a great networking aspect. So getting back to that, and we have tons of golf courses around us. Any other ideas anybody has? Dentists, doctors, lawyer. I mean,
Car shows.
were at that golf tournament. Correct. So Sarah said, here. Okay. Sarah says, sorry.
Yeah, like the people that were
Well, doing what's important to them.
yeah, like what? So if I have a personal relationship with a doctor, dentist, judge, all these things, what's important to them, and then going and supporting the cause that's important to them, because you've just now stuck your neck out for them. You've made them feel important. You've gone and supported that, but then now you're giving to a community or something that's important to them.
Yeah, that made me think of, I remember one of my first investor clients, and I mean, he was well, and he referred me to another client that I was able to do business with. And when I asked, hey, how'd you meet? His guy's nickname was Duff. How'd you meet Duff? And I was like, oh, yeah, we were both giving at a fundraising event, and we got talking about investing. And the guy was a wealth manager for I don't want to say, maybe it was early on Merrill Lynch or something like that, and then it got probably changed and sold out since then. However, just that simple thing of he was giving and ran into Duff, who ends up investing with him, and then Duff refers me later, the guy that he brought on as his financial planner later. So you just never know who you meet. While to your point, not just showing up, you're actively doing the activity, because those folks are showing up hands in their pockets. They don't stand out, right? They're on the sidelines versus rolling up your sleeves and getting in, whether it be feeding the hungry or giving yourself or investing in yourself. Joining niche groups. What groups? Whether it be country clubs or other kind of business networking opportunities. We're investing, keyword. We're investing with the Lakers, which if with another terms, is we're buying tickets, right? We're right. We're buying private suite tickets, right? So that way we can use and going direct to the Lakers and getting in communication with their staff and being there as often as we can, because that's right. Who else is investing in suites? And then using that as an opportunity to invite or bring other people that we would love to have an evening with. And yeah, hey, we got, yeah. Hector's interested. He's like, I'll go. That's fine.
That was the idea that we had is easy, like, and give back to our clients. Give back to our clients. Trust us. If it wasn't for them, we would have used it. And who can you bring this test that now we in that meeting supporting them?
Yep. So we got luxury agent events. We've got charity events, sponsorship opportunities. Also,
There's a lot going on at the Fairplex a lot, I want to mention. They have expos all the time.
the
So,
Fairplex.
yeah, the Pomona Fairplex.
Actually, that's a good idea. Good thought. Yeah.
But
there's
the
a lot
golf is a great one. I know that a lot of people who have a ton of money, they love to golf with their extra time. So Mercedes, that was 100. What do you think about, because somebody hit me up a couple times about putting an advertisement at Prado Park golfing area. So they would put my information up as a realtor and everything. Do you think that would be a good route to advertise?
I would jump into that. Yeah, like a banner. I would say if you can't be there and convert, meaning,
Right.
so what do you think about this banner ad, huh?
If you can't be there in person,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
who do you know that I should be talking to, right? Are you reading it, right? So what's your name,
Yeah.
right?
I got offered a sign, so I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know like what works real well with the with the paid advertising. and
yeah,
what
the
doesn't.
advertising is tough. Unless you can be there to convert and turn it into a list of names and numbers, prospects. It's hard. Haven't been too big of a fan. Like, let me know of anyone you personally know that made it specifically off of billboards. They
No.
started their career with specifically only billboard. Like they get to a level, then later on they add billboards to saturate or bus ads and stuff like that. However, most agents don't build their business specifically off of billboards or
Yeah.
bus signage.
I like the one-on-one,
Yeah, just
being able to talk to people.
yeah. So just be careful of what you invest in around marketing or advertising that may not uh, give you an opportunity to convert.
Set schedule.
Yep. Yeah.
They're gonna go salesman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. 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 Play the part. Yeah. Play that part. 100%. All right, so we're getting some really good nuggets here, good ideas, and for a lot of this, thank you. A lot of this, you definitely want to be in these meetings moving forward. Not only will we include the training, like the education, and yet a lot of the brainstorming around the marketing and the community networking is not anything that we can train to. This is more of like event organization or specific tactical masterminding of, hey, what can you do in your neck of the woods? What can you do? What are you thinking of? So this won't necessarily just be a training you can go to outside of if you're looking at the screen share education portion. The training calendar will come from the education portion. We'll look at the Ritz-Carlton School. We'll look at luxury mindset, caravans, studying luxury stats, and other forums. Mercedes is leading the group, and there's a luxury learning series
Correct, through
through
KW Connect. And
I don't know if everyone has that. However,
so I've been able to share the link, and I have no problem
it's
doing
been
that.
working.
Yeah, so there's a Q&A. I believe it's every second of the month, where whether you're an earned in luxury member or not, you can get on this Zoom, and it has two people from KW International, and you're just reaming them questions. And it's people from all over that can also give you ideas of things that you may not be doing in your market center that you can bring to your business now and, tweak it to however it fits. So that could be something that we add on our calendar for everyone, is that Q&A portion as well.
Yeah, so I believe like what you mentioned, what you were doing is having the video as a prerequisite, watch the video and then come back and let's mastermind over it and then get into some of the other conversations around, okay, well, what are we doing? When's the first community event that you're doing? When's the first community event that you're doing? And I wrote down one of the last ones was what joint client events. Right, what would we need to do what would we need to do in order for us to put together a joint client event that we can all leverage, that we can invite our clients to?
Oh, that reminds me. So Brian and I had a meeting. I didn't know this restaurant existed. You may know. You remember the name of it?
I don't know what restaurant you're talking
In Chino,
What meeting?
downtown.
about. Oh, so you're talking
No. It's like in the
it was close to town hall.
yeah, it was like downtown Chino. It's the only restaurant there. Gary said it's called Cockadoodle. Well, we asked them, how much would it cost to rent out your entire restaurant? And they said it was $3,000, and that includes
No, it was less than that.
it was
It
$3,000.
was like three.
Yes.
Yeah.
Owen's Bistro.
Yeah, the
So
bistro.
Owen's Bistro,
Yeah,
that could be a joint, marketing event. Through
like
the
2,500. It was like feed 40 people,
unlimited drinks, food. No. Until you, and then if you hit that mark, they'll let you know, hey, you're at that price point.
Basically, don't abuse it.
Yeah.
you
Do
know.
you want to continue, or we cut it, just easing the night through?
Yeah, that
However,
person.
something like that where you invite a client, they bring a friend, and then boom.
The atmosphere was real neat.
super chill.
It was a good, and it was quaint. It's not a big yard house type. It's
It was intimate.
maybe the size of the dining area was maybe a bit larger than this. Maybe the whole building was maybe the size of the market center itself, right? Our office and bar. So like maybe the bar was this size, and then like the actual dinner area was maybe the width, the length, bless you, of the rest of the office. And for 40 people, I mean, you can get it,
Mhm.
that.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
old school. It was
So
very classy.
bring your favorite client, right, event,
Mhm.
and a dinner on me, and then get to have an intimate.
Yes.
Exactly, and then have a night out with your top whatever 2-3 clients. That might be something that we could do as an office, and leverage one another, and just.
No, that's what I was thinking. That would be like a great joint marketing venture for the office.
Yep.
And those who, want to put some dollars behind it.
So just as an idea, so those type of things, could we come together and bring value to our people, whether it be let's host our own little charity golf event. What would it cost in order for us to rent out whatever local golf community in the area, maybe partner with a few offices, and then have our own charity event. Who knows, right? What would have to happen in order for us to do that? Just asking those questions and being creative. So I would love to see this group be willing to come together and ask those type of questions, do that type of research, and then we can come together and leverage the rest of the agent base, because there's always going to be a few people who want to jump in on any of these ideas.
And so scarcity mindset is something that you definitely need to get rid of. I think we can collaborate more and do more together. And when I say scarcity mindset, is like, what about me? What about my clients? What about, I think as we're building this together, we'll see that growth that we need within our office.
Yep.
I can also help in the San Diego area. We're selling this house. We're putting it up in 10 days. So I've been packing and we've been getting ready to move and everything. And then we're moving to the Carlsbad area, which is full of veterans. So I can do VA things and can I still be at KW Vision, or do I have to join a different MLS out there?
That's a good question. Both, and well, let's talk about that. Just let us know where you're going, what MLS you're talking about. I think we have an agent or a few agents who are a part of an MLS in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Okay.
So, hey, was this beneficial? Was this helpful?
Heck yeah.
So
Yes.
before we leave, we need 3 ahas, 3 takeaways, some things that you maybe are aware of, some ideas that you weren't aware of, or maybe a different spin on something that you already knew. Let's 3 takeaways before we wrap it up and get to our next meeting at 1:30, which is wealth building.
In Zoom land or in person? Any ahas, agents helping agents?
Few takeaways.
I love the investing and always learning and just keep learning more and more and never stop. And keeping everything together as a group and learning together, helping each other.
I think the mindset of what is luxury is good for me, because I think it's something so not reachable and I'm already doing it. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's not that I wouldn't do much different with my clients, because I feel like I've already showed up for them in the quality that I bring in my services, but there's a next level there. But I think not being so intimidated that next level is right there. I have everything. Hearing that even in California, Southern California, 1.1, 1.3, 1.8, That's not so scary anymore.
No.
So I think that was helpful to hear you read off those numbers, Mercedes, and helps my mindset, my perspective shift a little bit in that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I want to put that up too. Is I just shared the screen. It's on the screen. I just wanted to make sure it was on this feed so that for anyone who wanted to get those numbers again, you can go back and watch the video on Facebook and screenshot it if you're on the screen right now and on Zoom, and you can have these numbers for your record.
Speak it into existence.
In
Hi,
Riverside,
Mercedes.
it's probably like 19,
Hear me?
195.
Rancho too. I've seen some
It's pretty
beautiful homes
2-1,
that you would-
2-2.
in Orange County would be 3 to 5 million.
I wanted to say something. I wanted to say thank you, Mercedes, and hi, how are you? You touched on some things that I really want to get there, and I'm working hard to get there. I just say keep up the good work and keep inspiring us all. You guys are a great team together.
We're all-
Very cool.
I'm so happy with my KW family. I just tell the world about it.
Aw,
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I concur.
Oh, I can see faces now.
Yeah.
I'll wake everybody up.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Looking forward to the next
Guys.
one. Have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed, and see you